Greetings, everyone. Contestants42, your lone archiver here. A comment has talked to me about the exo-suits, which are a good example of a stratagem that is underutilized, and the comment talks about how underpowered they are. The commenter says, and I quote, "I have so many friends that are unwilling to play simply because the exo-suits are squishy pieces of clunk. They want to live their mech pilot fantasies, but the exo-suits are basically HMG encampments that have larger hitboxes and slightly productive capabilities. Hell, a stratagem cannon or making the bulldogs work while piloting them would make so much better. Or repair backpack or stratagem weapon, like a welder, that would let you repair the damage on the exo-suits would be awesome." Well, they say the word fix, but same difference. Or even just handles and straps for other Helldivers to hold on to make river traversal easier, and maybe increase weapon stability or something. I have better success with the HMG encampment, and that's really sad. I'm dying, in the game, to see good exo-suit gameplay, to see how it can be effectively used on the bot front to actually get things done, especially on the bot front where there seems to be less usable. I'd be stoked to see you try your hand at either one of them. They go on to honorably mention the shield encampment, but I have my own thoughts and opinions I'll get into on that at a later video. So we're going to be talking about the Patriot exo-suit and the Emancipator exo-suit, one of which has quad autocannons to shoot with, and the other one has a chain gun, something that is kind of close to a heavy machine gun, but we don't have anywhere else in terms of fire rate, other than, well, there is the Gatling sentry, but that's besides the point. And it has a rocket launcher. Because of that, it essentially acts as a dual-wielding commando plus heavy machine gun setup. Well, the Emancipator exo-suit acts as, well, having 4 autocannon users at the same time. Because of this, their firepower isn't really the problem with them. Their maneuverability and firepower makes sense for them being a mech. The only thing I would maybe do is give the rockets more ammo on the Patriot, but it's still fine in its current state for how many things you would expect to take out with a stratagem. Another thing, and this is a common complaint people have about these things, is you only get 2 uses. The cooldown time is already 10 minutes. The longest a mission can be is 40 minutes. Even increasing this use count from 2 to 3 would be just acceptable. Because, what? If you go that long in a mission, you're probably going to want a 3rd charge of this. If you do missions in the same way that I do them, then, well, you go through one of these as often as you should. You call in one immediately at the start, it lasts you up to 10 minutes, and then you call in the next one. That's the ideal way that these should work. However, on higher difficulties, there are so many enemies that you burst through your ammo in about a 1/4 to even half that time. And that's if you're lucky enough to live long enough in the bot front. A single V2 rocket from any of the rocket walkers, or a Gatling tank, immediately takes this thing out. And that's not to mention that tank turret shots immediately take them out as well. I believe a while ago they buffed these things to have more durability damage. However, they don't nearly take enough durability damage compared to regular damage. Since there isn't that many things in the game that actually should have durability health when it comes to our faction, the Helldivers, fighting enemies, I think it would be fair to make it so that way most standardized weapons don't do basically anything. Give this thing like 90% structural damage to all of its parts, along with the shield turrets. Along with turrets and the shield encampment. I think having that as a change allows for a more dynamic range of what's acceptable. Having these robotic workshops stratagems actually be able to sustain and survive damage. Another big issue that they have outside of that is the fact that the time to kill it takes for one of the cannon turrets with either one of these things, as opposed to the amount of time it takes the cannon turret to kill you, is insanely quick. There isn't much room for error. And I think that could be alleviated just by having a cannon turret do about half the durability damage it currently does. If that's implemented along with the other change that I'm suggesting here, I think that these things could be really cool. I think the idea in general of having a mech or a tank that gets piloted either as a team where everyone's doing a role as part of a tank crew, or where you have one mech user who's being supported, would be great. Other ideas such as fixing them up with some kind of stratagem weapon would be really cool to see. And I don't think it's too far off what we might get in the future. Let's now take a look at it in its current state, in practical field use. Because again that they die so fast to V2 rockets, being basically one-tapped, I outright don't advise using these things against tier 8 bots and above. Rocket walkers then spawn like crazy at tier 8 and above. But I think at tier 7 and tier 6, tiers that are commonly played by most players because you can still get super samples from them, makes these very viable for most players. It just takes some skill in getting used to how they maneuver. And good communication with either a spear or recoilless rifle user to take out cannon turrets for you. Much like how a squad of infantry soldiers might have to take out anti-tank mines or anti-tank encampments to help their tanks push up. With that being said, let's get into the class. We'll grab a shield generator backpack because you can actually use that inside these things. It would be cool if there was more, like, guard dogs you could use inside of it. And then let's grab an arc thrower as a last-ditch effort in case we get blown out of this thing. As you can see, our bubble expends a little far from the front on this. It takes a second to wind it up. And we've already burned, what, 20 of our shots on one heavy dose? They've taken our shield out, so they can do actual damage to shooting us directly now. Looks like it doesn't do much to the... Oh. We can one-shot one with a shot to the eye, though. That's pretty good. Getting 14 halt kills out of one stratagem? Alright, I do want to be careful with pushing down here, because this thing is not immune to stepping on landmines, as much as it debatably should be. Another thing we have to worry about is this pit here. That is a death pit that is on this map variety, and if you do fall down there, you will just immediately get killed. Can this one-tap these? Alright, it's true rockets to take out one of those, which, if you know how to aim with it, is enough that you can probably shoot them down before they get dropped. On. Our map got bugged. Whenever your map gets bugged like that, you get stuck on just having to walk up to it. Oh, you can walk right over these things without having to melee attack. If you're just dealing with a single trooper, you don't have to actually... It's 2 rockets if you don't hit the eye. We got 5 kills from this. There is still some things over there that we have to be careful of. Yeah, it's not really worth it to melee things with this. And we've spent half of our clock and about half our ammo. So for tier 7 Eradicates in their current state, which is a lot slower spawning, you'd be fine. We'll let these guys drop in. There's a tank there. Let's get around behind it to not get shot immediately by it. Alright, that first shot, I think, went through it without doing much of anything. So, the Gatling gun doesn't do enough damage to not use a rocket for it. Speaking of which, do we actually have a perfect count of those? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Yeah, that is 14 out of 14 rockets. You do get, like, the right amount visually. These things do kind of just need some module buffs to increase their effectiveness. I think that's one thing that should be accounted for when using these things. They aren't not necessarily in their final state. Alright, that's another one of those types of tanks, which isn't that scary for this. Oh, it's just one rocket to the back. Alright, we can save ammo by just walking over the troopers. Ooh, we can't walk over that variety. So yeah, it's not worth shooting any of those down. It's better just to use the one rocket to take out a tank. I wonder if the rocket also one-shots them from the front in terms of... Well, it should, because you're still hitting the turret, and it's not like the armor rating is any higher. The only thing it should have to worry about is hitting the cheeks there at the front of the Annihilator tanks. That is another Shredder tank, which we don't have to worry about with this. Just gotta make sure we hit our shot. And... Oh. Shooting it from the front turret does not... Yeah, you can kind of hit it with the gap there. We're now smoking pretty badly. So you can survive some good heavy fire from Shredder tanks, but there's a limit. You can definitely understand why these things are designed with having a really long cooldown. We won't be able to take out that tank. This will probably be the last group of bots we can take care of with just this. And it does a good job just shredding those up. The next thing we'll try when it comes to fighting tanks is whether or not it's actually viable to dive out of it and throw in another railgun strike. And we'll have another one in 55 seconds here. Alright, let's get our second exo-suit. Here comes our next wave of victims. I don't think you should waste the machine gun ammo on any trooper that has a regular gun. If it has a rocket launcher, I think it's worth it because of how much damage they can do to this thing, but most of the machine gun fire seems to blink right off pretty ineffectively. Like, it still, I think, does a little bit of damage, but it's the same thing as shooting the back of a Hulk. Or not even the back of a Hulk. It's like, how do I put this? It's like trying to kill a Hulk with an autocannon from the front. Sure, you're doing damage, but you should be aiming for the eye. I don't even know if this thing has a weak spot the enemies try to aim for. And there's the problem, tank. And you do one-shot it by shooting it in the back as well. That was a pretty good ragdoll. Wait, hold on. There are those guys over there. Maybe we can aggro them into range? Yeah. Cool, now we have some gunships to test this thing out against. I was wondering where the gunship patrols were. They're closing in fast, but we should be able to take care of this group first. Alright. Take cover from the rockets. It's a little bit of work taking them down with the launcher. One shot to the thrusters is all it takes, but it's a hard shot to make, so you might as well just use the chain gun ammo. Save the rockets for something more important, like a tank or a Hulk. Yeah, I can see this thing being pretty devastating in terms of clearing up fodder while somebody else clears up the heavier targets on a main objective. That's a shredder tank that we're just going to want to get behind.
1 minute remains. Destroyer departure imminent.
And you know what? If you can get into cover from something like this, it's probably worth it to just pop out of the tank, or pop out of the mech, and just drop a railgun strike on something. There we go. Aggro 2 of those guys over so we can get some more kills in. What's the range on these? Pretty good. Okay, directly hitting the thing isn't a one-tap. You do have to hit the thruster, so definitely don't use the rockets against those.
Super destroyer leaving low orbit. Emergency extraction shuttle deployed.
Oh, that hit me.
On the extraction zone.
They're not bad for bugs, because they seem to spawn in normally. I think it's something, they changed something about the way that bot dropships fly in. And I think that's what's really fucking this up. I think they added in a bug where I think they go on cooldown.
And fear the shadow of neither death nor tyranny, but justice is your cause.
Alright, and we're back
Deploying equipment package.
with more of this. We're on tier 9 because I couldn't find a tier 8 mission for that. But that's fine. We do have increased cooldown though, so we've got 11 minutes and 50 seconds before our next one. Which means if you do call in one of these immediately to a 12-minute mission, you will be fine. Let's, take care of these. Firing them together does a decent job. Let's take out this, now that we've been given enough room to breathe. Alright, it's unrealistic to say that you can take out things before they drop in. You can definitely clear up hordes of light bots. Which is good, because you can't really be stealthy in this damn thing. Things can notice you from like over 100 meters away. Let's try meleeing one of these. Nah, that doesn't seem to do much for us. Every berserker taking 2 autocannon shots does make sense for it being an autocannon, but isn't really as worth it on the ammo economy of this thing. Granted, some of that was for good reason. Alright, we're gonna have to find a way to get around behind this thing. Alright. There's a moment for just things like this. Oh. The stagger force is definitely pretty useful in this to hold down an objective, but you're mostly playing a supporting role in this. Which is not, I think, what somebody wants to be doing when it comes to using one of these mechs. Here comes another wave. It's just one. It's a first Hulk. Okay, Hulks get deleted. This thing kills Hulks as fast as it kills destroyers. Well, berserkers. So it's like... How do I put this? It's not worth it shooting these guys if you have teammates, outside of staggering them so your teammates can take care of them. The gosh darn explosive crossbow takes out berserkers in as many shots as this thing does. So why would you use this thing for taking these things out? It's the fact that it is an autocannon. You want to use it like a support weapon. It can't do everything as effectively, because just like an autocannon, it fails to deal decent damage to tanks from the front. So what you have to instead rely on is either your stratagems or somebody else to do things like that for you. But if you want to take care of swarms of devastators and light bots, that's what this thing is good for. However, I want to do the Minecraft thing where I'm, like, turning to look from the other first-person perspective. But, like, damn, that's not really a task you need done. Because if you wanted to do that, you just bring an autocannon. So this thing has to be better than the autocannon in, like, practically every single way. And it doesn't seem to be doing that. We're gonna shoot this guy before he becomes a problem, but we'll melee this one. Alright, let's just throw a railgun at this, because we already know how the tank gameplay plays out with this. Oh, hold on. Let's temporarily hide this behind this box.
Strike incoming.
Wow. It takes... Wow. Wow. Really? Yeah, don't bother trying to melee berserkers with this. It takes them about as many hits to kill you as you take to kill them. I think they actually took out both of my legs, maybe? This one still has armor on it. They took out this leg completely. Wait. So for Hulks have to lose both of their entire leg health to kill them. Apparently for us, we only have to lose one leg. Or maybe it did enough damage to main that, like... Oh, there's still that guy up. I can't aim that far down. We're gonna have to wait for it to come up the hill a bit more. Which means there wasn't exactly a very good showcase of these capabilities, but like... That's not all we're doing. This will just be a nice start. Nice little warm-up.
Destroyer departure imminent.
Lets me test an environment where I'm only dealing with one thing at a time, how good it is at dealing with certain tasks. The same way we didn't get any gunship. Did I actually take... Oh, okay. I took 2 different things. Oh. 2 of these. And it can hurt them. Does a decent job against barrage tanks. Alright, let's just make sure that those incoming rockets don't get me. Yeah. Takes care of barrage tanks. Which, on its own, is pretty useful. It just still suffers against Annihilator tanks. I kind of also wish they threw a Factory Strider at me, but like, whatever.
Emergency extraction. Warning, you are leaving the mission area.
That's going to trigger off these. Yep, there I go. I didn't even get far enough away. Alright. Barely. Alright. This has 19 minutes on its cooldown, so let's just push in. Let's start taking care of business. I verbally said 19, but meant 9. And it's only got a 9-minute cooldown in this situation, so not the worst thing in the world. And there's something that can one-shot us just immediately. 2 of them, actually. Okay. That Hulk has turned at us at an annoying angle. Oh well. You must be who called in the bot drop. Alright. I'm going to quickly load this while that raises, because there's no point.
Mission at 10 minutes remaining.
And then we can go back to picking that up.
Near your position. Mission map updated.
Tagging map.
Let's head
Objective complete.
for the mortar base. There's also a Factory Strider up there. You should be careful of. It's noticed us. This is cool. Alright, we're gonna hide this behind this rock here. And we're just going to rail cannon the Factory Strider. This again would be a lot easier with teammates. You want somebody to take out heavy-hitting cannon turrets that are designed to be anti-tank encampments. Because of this, I have to actually be running outside of this mech a lot and taking out these things myself. So I fire 2 rail cannon strikes just to confirm that the turret goes down. Then I get back into the mech to finish up the Factory Strider.
Warning, you are in range of enemy artillery.
Alright, we took out its top turret and then we hit it. But it is still up. That's kind of what you have to do, though. The top turret is what's really dangerous for this thing, taking out one of those.
Warning, you are in range of enemy artillery.
Alright, we have cover for that side. And shooting in the eye wasn't that bad. We used it as cover. Another way that this is comparable to a tank is the fact that its visibility while inside of it is kind of low compared to how easy enemies are at targeting you with it. Because of that, it has the dynamic of a tank where you have to be very careful because things can sneak up and blow you up without any indication they were there. There's a Hulk base down over there. I'm gonna head towards that. Come on. I'm shooting that because it's too dangerous to get too much closer to. And I also want to keep moving. This is another thing that this thing can do. That you can take out those from any angle now. Yeah. Got shredded by the Hulks.
5 minutes remaining. I repeat, 5 minutes remaining.
Be happy on this. Give this a blast. Now that enemies don't just shoot right through terrain, you can use the corpse of these things as more cover, as I demonstrate here. It's actually really nice, which means that when you get blown out of it, you're not completely screwed. Since the rest of this clip is mostly me dealing with this cannon turret before heading out the rest of the base, let's skip to the next part. I equip the mech. Ow, that was a direct hit. Let's get into this.
Warning, you are in range of enemy artillery.
Take out that.
Objective critical stratagem available. Objective critical stratagem no longer available.
I see you. I'm not falling for that old gag. Alright.
1 minute remains. Destroyer departure imminent.
That's shooting at us. We have to stay on the moves, that way it doesn't just snipe us, but... There is another one. There's always another one. Where does that other one even come from? Did it just fire again that quickly? I guess the shot took so long to get to us from that range that it just didn't matter. Anyway, that's the big downside. It's almost like anti-tank weaponry is effective against what is essentially our only tank.
Bag's empty.
That I'm not entirely mad
Deploying
about.
equipment package.
That is something that you want troops on the ground to support you to take care of. It's this base I'm now sneaking up on that had the turret that took me out. I couldn't see it over the hill because it could see me from the elevated position of being in the mech, but from just eye level of a helldiver, it was over the rock.
30 seconds.
That's one of the many reasons why visibility is so important, and having other teammates to look out for those sorts of things. Having a spear user to duo with this thing would be crazy. Advantage is that turret can see us from so far away because those things have no stealth whatsoever. Skipping ahead to the next mission, which is destroying command bunkers, I take out the Patriot exo-suit to try and blow one of them up. It doesn't go well, but that's mostly due to the bot drop rather than the command bunker itself in this scenario. And we're hearing that sound effect because of... Wait, that might crush that.
You are leaving the
Fuck.
mission area.
Well, if it does happen, it'll just be another good example of about how bad this thing is. Okay, that
Warning, you are
got
leaving the
eaten.
mission area.
Yeah, but the splash damage still did so much to us. Yep. Anyway, that's why these things suck against
Helldiver, you
the
are
walkers.
outside the mission area.
Because there's just no counter to them. And I can't even run from this. There.
Bag's empty.
You see, it's not the fact that those mechs are weak. It's the fact that these fucking things are too strong.
You are in range of enemy artillery.
Alright, hold on. We'll throw one real cannon strike up at this. And then we'll throw this second. Hey, Helldivers Tuesdays, fix your fucking game. I just watched a tank despawn right in front of me while I was looking at it.
Firing orbital strike.
Last reload.
Hello. I hit the cheek armor. Fine. Oh, hello there. Say hello to my little friend. I hope this signifies how important it is to take out the anti-tank turret before summoning in your mech. If any of them see it come flying in, they'll just turn immediately towards it and try and get it. I haven't seen one of them pop it out of the sky just yet, but it's not impossible, I'm pretty sure. I don't have to not be on full ammo when I simply go in with this. Why would you fire at that base? Why would you attract it at the very end there? Alright, let's go for these. When you use a rock to give yourself some cover, but that very self-same rock is stopping all of your rockets that you're firing from going at the target. Yeah, this thing isn't accurate enough to use at long range against these bases and doesn't do nearly enough damage to be bothered taking them out. There are better stratagems to take out command bunkers by a long shot. Okay, so this doesn't even do a good job of taking out command bunkers. That's good to know. I'm gonna have to convince Box to be running a spear for me when I run this thing next. Or the other way around, either or. Somebody just needs to have the ability to take out heavily encamped things. And that's a hard time dodging those, just how big it is and how slow it moves. They threw a grenade at me, which I feel like would do meaningful damage. Without the rockets, I'm out of a meaningful way to do damage to any heavily armored units, so I'm just stuck with the chain gun, which is good for clearing up light stuff, but like, I could be clearing up light stuff with my primary, so why would I want a support weapon to take care of that, especially when they're in this low of a quantity.
Orbital strike incoming. Objective critical stratagem available.
Yeah, I don't want to use the objective critical stratagem.
Objective critical stratagem no longer available.
That doesn't even one-shot those.
Objective critical stratagem available.
For context, shooting the direct main body of those is what takes out everything it's carrying. Shooting out the thruster doesn't do much other than kill the dropship itself, which is nice for morale, but doesn't do much for the situation. Ow, my everything. Ow, I'm still equipped on this.
Freedom forever! Sway the liberty!
Another triumph from men to one. May liberty guide your feet.
They blew it up and I'm not even fucking in it. If that doesn't point out the fact that these things are so stupid, I don't know what does. Honestly, I kind of just want to make that the closure. That's it. Just this. In fact, I'm gonna pull out my screenshotting tool. I don't fucking care if they kill me. I got the main objective done.
Safe!
Yeah? How to defeat bots. They can only hit moving targets.
Sometimes the price of victory.
They're programmed to hit moving targets. If you stand perfectly still, they just can't hit you. Fucking hell, let's go. Alright, there we go. Alright, does anyone else see any more cannon turrets in the region?
Cancel that. Objective located.
'Cause I do, but I don't really care. Let's push in for what we were going to do in today's objective. Don't worry about me not doing the last step of this. I'll come back for it later. It's on the way to the main objective from everywhere else anyway. Alright. With the only cannon turret eliminated, let's go to town. Let's yeet one of these into here. Get into our mech.
Orbital strike incoming.
That one, I think, tried to melee me, which is kind of funny. Oh, we're already smoking.
That's called democracy.
Bot outpost destroyed.
Okay. We've been able to successfully take a large base with mostly just a mech on tier 8 solo, which if you expect anything better out of these things, I don't know what to say. Like, I've shown what their issues are. It's survivability. Maybe we can take a second if we're careful about it.
Warning, you are in range of enemy artillery.
Probably not with that. We can try. Nope, the machine gun finishes off. There's not that many stratagems that can take out 2 bases. So we can give this thing to that. You also do get to pilot it. But is that enough to warrant its situation? I think we can all agree, I don't think so.
You are in range of enemy artillery.
Ow. You know, that makes sense.
Warning, you are in range of enemy artillery. Deploying equipment package.
Alright, there's still one thing left alive. It is now noticed this.
You are in range of enemy artillery. Outpost cleared. Warning, you are in range of enemy artillery.
Oh, well.
Warning, you are in range of enemy artillery.
You will never destroy our way of life.
Oh, I got knocked out of cover. That's why we hate artillery. Hi, can you just look a little bit closer towards me? Thank you.
Warning, you are in range of enemy artillery.
Okay, how does the artillery encampment know where I am if you guys don't fucking know where I am? Don't you fucking live here?
Objective critical stratagem no
Well, actually, no, I guess that makes sense. It's like if, okay, that actually does good stagger force for those things. If only it fucking killed them. Okay, you only just noticed me now, which is funny, and I got ragdolled from the rock getting hit. Stun! 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 It landed behind you guys. Fuck! Ah, goddammit, I'm inaccurate for being stunned myself. We throw another one. Finally, a piece of cover that actually does its job. Good to know that you guys have wasted enough time shooting at your friend that you literally are out of rockets to shoot me with.
at 30 minutes remaining.
Ow.
Warning, you are
That
in
one still had it.
enemy artillery.
I thought we were within the minimum range. I didn't tell you to reload this one.
Warning, you are in range of enemy artillery. Orbital strike incoming.
Hey, it's me, the bot. Make sure to like and comment for more funny ragdolls. You're going to like and comment for more funny ragdolls, right? Oh, well, there we go.
Sending down equipment. Warning, you are in range of enemy artillery. Objective critical stratagem available.
Exit.
Alright, we threw that at that base
Stratagem
because
available.
it's too close.
Outpost cleared. Objective critical stratagem no longer available.
Uh-oh. With that stellar shootout out of the way, let's move on to the next time I summon in the mech, shall we? Okay, one horrible fight and bot drop later. Let's actually call this thing in now and take care of these last bases.
Bag's empty. Say hello to democracy! Found something!
Automaton outpost scrapped.
Yeah, that doesn't give me hit markers. Yep, and the tank just one-shots you. Because that's just what happens. You need anti-tank support when you're in this thing.
Firing orbital strike.
Which goes to show just how important being able to run quickly around a tank is for keeping out of its main turret's range and effective firing arcs. It's something the mechs can't do, and something the mechs shouldn't be able to do. But at the same time, I don't think that they should punish you hard enough that getting hit by them once can take you out from any health threshold. I know in that point I was still smoking pretty bad, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's what did me in. Like, it was just the simple fact that I got hit by a tank, because it doesn't matter where you're hit by it. Well, I guess it can matter where, because it hits you in the arm, you just lose an arm rather than your main body. But even then you're losing out on very critical ammo storage that this thing lacks. So yeah, that's the mech. I did my best to showcase it well, but this is about the upper limit of what you can do solo with it. If you'd like to see any more stratagem reviews or weapon reviews in general, feel free to leave a comment about what you'd like to see me try and use. I'm down to use basically anything. If you enjoyed this content, please give the video a like. And if you'd like to subscribe to see more content like this, I'd greatly urge you to do so, as I'm slowly working on now getting towards the big 100 mark at this point.
Budget depleted.
With that being said, I'm going to skip ahead to one more funny clip from this mission, and then see you off for the day. Have a lovely day or night. Arrivederci. Peekaboo. Surprise! Sorry, this is a re-gift. Merry Christmas!
Lost. Sending replacement. Request approved. Deploying reinforcements.
That was very stupid. Oh god. Okay, I can't be as stupid now. Mean that many nukes only killed 4 things. No, for a fact there wasn't just 4 things left there to kill. Whatever.